Hello everyone, welcome to the Creator of Bricks, and today I have a review of the Knightfall Bane vs. Batman 2-pack. I initially wasn't going to buy this, but I was kind of swayed by Batman having the wired cape. When it initially came out, I was like, I'll wait for it to go on sale, and then I quickly realized, wait, this isn't going to go on sale, because it's Bane and Batman. And yeah, it seems to be selling well. I see why it's selling well though. These are two very cool figures. I'm not going to spoil the review though, but yeah, these are very fun figures, and I can definitely see why people are itching to get these two. So without further ado, let's look at Bane. So to begin with Bane here, so this is a figure I was mainly interested in for this 2-pack. I didn't get the first Bane. I wanted the first Bane. I did think that the pouches on the front of Bane and the skin tone just weren't right to me. The skin tone just looked a little too yellow for like a darker skin tone. I wouldn't mind a darker skin Bane because Bane is Cuban, so I wouldn't mind a more Hispanic skin tone. But with the first one, I just thought it didn't look like a natural skin tone at all. So this one has fixed that issue with a more kind of natural looking skin tone, I want to say, but it's just a lighter skin tone. But yeah, that's something here. It all looks pretty good. It is painted skin, so it does look weird in spots. So that's not cool. Like, you can kind of see that it is painted right there, and it's kind of off in some spots. Some spots are a little bluey, I would say. They're a little, they're a bit of a blue color in certain spots of the skin. I'm not sure what the base is, but I'm guessing it's probably a blue color based on what's poking through. You can't really tell on camera. I mean, it doesn't look terrible in person, but you can tell that it's like a, it's like a blue color that they molded this in, and then they painted the skin tone on top of the base. Something with the figure though, I always had a problem with, even from the beginning, for this version of Bane, not the other one. I'm really not a fan of the cell shading that they added. Like, you see the cell shading right here and here, and then they made the wire connecting the two tubes right here blue. And you got some blue on the gauntlet here, and some on the pants. It's accurate to the comic, but it's not something I particularly like. So something I'm not a huge fan of, but it's not really a problem. Like Bane's mask from Knightfall, but I would have liked a interchangeable option, but I get that probably wouldn't have been possible because of the tubing. So if you had an alternate head, I wouldn't have been able to have this cord right here, or they would have had to design it to where you can, maybe it's a peg and then you peg it into the back of the head. I guess that's the solution they could have came up with. Or what Mayfix did is they had a interchangeable slot face right here. So the back of the head was one piece, and then you take the front part off, and then you can interchange the face that way, which could have been possible too. If you see right here, there's like a line right here, so they could have done that because they have with how they painted it, they have a way to do that and have it not break up the actual figure itself. This guy, I do appreciate the size of him. While not accurate to Knightfall, it just works as a classic Bane. Just any kind of comic Bane now, even like the boots, which are reused from the initial Bane, look good. Like, you can see the pouches too right here, the different texturing on the pants. Like, it has a very nice kind of I don't know what kind of material this would be, but kind of just that camo pants without being camouflage. Then you got the boots, which have a nice leather texture right there, so that's nice, and very well sculpted boots. And then you get some tread on the side, but not in the bottom. But you also do get the fists, which were not included initially with the other Bane. They are a little messily painted on one of them. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, right there. So right there, you can see there's like a little nick taken out of the paint right there, which is unfortunate, but um, it's not a big deal. It's just a little thing that kind of sucks. Is I have a little nick in the paint right there, but they do look good. The fists are mostly well painted. It's just overall a nice Bane figure. So to me, this is the main selling point of the 2-pack is this Batman with the wired cape. I am a huge fan of this Batman. It is my new favorite Batman, and I think it's just a general improvement on the Knightfall. I think the lighter blue looks really nice, and I love how the cape has this like metallic kind of sheen to it. You can see it right there. It's really nice, and the cape is just really awesome to mess around with. Actually, if you have him on a flight stand like this, he is just an awesome display piece. It takes it to the next level having the wired cape like this. Like I have him with a grapple gun right now, just trying to grapple onto something like that. So that's really fun. This didn't come with the 2-pack though. He comes with a few accessories here. Batman, you get these 2 sets of kind of just I'm in pain hands, I guess, since it's a Knightfall Batman. So these are really nice. In my recreation of the backbreaker panel, I use these hands and they work perfectly for that shot. You get 2 fists right here. Alright, and then the final accessory this Batman comes with is the Batarang. It's the same Batarang that came with the Knightfall Batman, or the other Knightfall Batman. I have it in the other Knightfall Batman's hand right now. But yeah, it's the same Batarang, just a lighter blue. That's just the theme with this Batman. It's just a slightly lighter blue, or not slightly. It's just a lighter blue compared to the other one. The other one's a darker blue, as you can see right here. This one's a darker blue than that one. That one's a light blue, and then this one's a dark blue. The main thing that I love about this guy is that wired cape. That just is a phenomenal addition. And I can do pretty much any pose I want with Batman now. Like, if I want him gliding, or just, like, kicking while gliding, I can do that. Here, I'll actually show that right now. So here's Batman in the gliding pose. I kept watching reviews for this 2-pack, waiting for someone to show off that they could actually do this with this cape, and I kept getting mad because no one showed this kind of pose. So yeah, it can be achieved, a gliding pose. Well, on a flight stand, of course, because it's not gonna work if you don't have him on a flight stand. But this is just something that I think is so iconic with Batman that I got mad at other people for not showing off. All right, and then for this pose, this is the glide kicking pose. I had to change my camera setup here, but yeah, you can get a glide kick pose too, which I think is awesome that you're able to achieve this kind of pose now with a wired cape. And I'm absolutely loving this. You can also do like a dramatic cape in the wind pose like this. This is pretty cool too. This is a fun option if you want to do that. Also do like a superhero landing pose with Batman just landing on the ground, just doing the 3-point pose right there. That's pretty cool too. This is another fun kind of pose for Batman. And the wires are strong too. Like you see that I'm pushing down on them, or like kind of tapping down on them, and they're not coming down. So they're pretty good wires, but like if I force it down, it'll come down a little bit. Or actually, that might be even better than what I had initially. I pushed it down a little bit, but yeah, it is really fun to mess with this cape. I'll do one more pose, and then here's my final pose, a kind of menacing "I'm Batman and I'm mad, I'm coming after you" kind of pose. I just had a hell of a night. Alright, and then aesthetically, for the design of this Batman, like I said, I love the wired cape, and I showed it off pretty extensively. I'm not a big fan of the logo. I'm a bigger fan of like raised logo from the other Knightfall Batman. This one is fine, but I do prefer my logos to be sculpted, but you know, it's just a preferential thing. Sometimes Knightfall Batman can have the raised logo, sometimes it doesn't. So it really depends. This one with the shading, it does actually lend itself well to this figure. It's not as obnoxious as on the Bane figure. It just accents the figure nicely, and it gives it more definition. It actually makes the figure look nicer on this one. And then all the tatters on the suit here are really well done. I will say though, they're a little too light for the skin tone on the face here. They don't quite match. If we were to look here, you can see that this is a slightly darker tone than the one on the neck there. So that's unfortunate that the skin tones don't match. So I know people don't like this head sculpt. I'm actually a really big fan of Batman kind of gritting its teeth and kind of just in pain kind of head sculpt. So this one is one I'm a fan of, and something I always think of with this kind of thing, and especially it being a blue Batman, is the Dark Knight Returns. That one cover of him kind of gritting his teeth and you know he's gritting his teeth and he has his fists up and he's kind of ready for action. And this is what that reminds me of, is just that version of Batman. Did they go a little heavy on the eyeshadow? Maybe, but I actually think that doesn't look too bad. Then you have these accents on the sides of the cowl there, and then you get some blood dripping from the mouth there. I think that looks nice too, just having that little bit of blood running down the chin there. And then you got some stubble on the chin. So they went all out with the head sculpt, uh, going to the max and just making it the best they could for this head sculpt. And then I also do like the long ears. The long ears are cool. Aesthetically, I really do love this Batman. It's very nicely done. Love the lighter blue. The rips are nice, and I love the head sculpt, especially the head sculpt. I really like, and then the wired cape again. I gotta emphasize that wired cape is awesome. All right, so for articulation, for Bane, we have this much up, which is, I mean, that's barely up. I mean, it's not nothing, but I mean, compared to down, it's not comparable. And then for the abs slash lower torso articulation, you don't have the abs. I don't know why I mentioned that. But back, you get this much, so pretty good back. And then forward is very typical McFarlane. Very much nothing. You don't get much forward, but you're still able to do the backbreaker pose though. And then for the arms, you can go that far up, so you can do a full-on teeth pose. Look at him. And then for the elbows, you get this much. Not quite 90, but it is very close to 90. And then you get the swivel. Actually, probably shouldn't do that on this arm. Probably should do it on the other one that doesn't have the cord. So yeah, you can get a full-on spin out of that. So yeah, I forgot the other arm. I forgot the other arm has the cord on it, so I gotta be careful how much I stretch that cord. For the wrists, you can go in this much and then outward that much, and then you get a spin. And then for the thighs, the diaper is actually really soft, so you can get a full-on upward like this with the pants, and you can kind of whoop. And then for the knees, you can go inward that much, so he can kick his own butt. Look at that. And he has a very soft diaper too. Reminds me of the Doomsday Tookus, but that one was really puffy. And yeah, anyway. And then for the ankles, you get this much up, so very good. And then back, you get that much out of the articulation there. And it has a lot of crunches in there. Let me count the crunches for the ankle. So you get 8 clicks out of this one. So it goes in, or it goes up and down very well. And then for the pivot, you get all the way around, so that's very nice. And then toe crunch. So very good ankle articulation. And this guy can very much do the backbreaker, and I will do that at the end of the video. Alright, and then for Batman, his articulation, he goes up this much, and then down that much. And then his shoulders are very spinny, and then they can full-on T-pose like that, so you can get those awesome gliding poses. And then for his elbow, you get that much out of his elbow. And then Batman has the Omni joint, as I call it, where it can spin at the top, and then it goes in and out like that. And then for the abs, you get this much, which is decent, but could be better. The back, which is very important with this figure actually, you get that much, so you can full on go back. For the hips, you go up that much and then crunch like this. And then for the ankles, you get a spinny, a lower pivot spinny, and then you get up and down like that. And then how many clicks does this have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 less than Bane. And then you get the toe joint up there. So very cool articulation and very well posed. I'm going to do a few quick comparisons before I show the backbreaker pose, but here he is with the first Knightfall Batman. These two are very good figures, but I think this one's an overall upgrade in pretty much every department over this one, except the logo. That's the only part where I feel like this one does it better. And then for another 90s battle damaged character comparison, here he is with the Death of Superman that came with Doomsday, and the difference in damage is quite insane. So you get blood from his mouth and blood from his mouth. All right, that's even. But the amount of tatters on this suit is not comparable. Oh, Superman gets a couple scratches even though he's about to die, and then 2 rips, and that's it. And then some scratches on the thigh. That's it. Some dirt in the pants, or not in the pants, in the shoes. Is that it? He's dying, guys. You're not gonna put some extra rips versus the guy who just gets his back broken and gets beat up. Yeah, he gets a bunch of rips versus the guy that's dying. But yeah, he also has a ripped cape, so I guess that counts for something. Here's next to Lobo. This one might seem like a random comparison, but I wanted to bring this one in because I think this is the proper height that this Bane should be if it's an accurate to Knightfall. I think this is the perfect height difference for Batman and Bane. So if you want to make a custom Bane out of a figure, I would use the Lobo for something. I think that would be a good base body for a Bane. It has the jeans and everything, and then you got like a skull on the pants. You just have to add some cords, change out the torso, maybe, and then new head. But I think the arms and everything would work. So yeah, I think this would be a good base if you want to make a custom Knightfall Bane that's more size accurate. There's a size comparison with the regular Knightfall Batman with Bane. Very big gap here. There's like 2 or 3 inches on Knightfall Batman. I was going to compare Bane with Tim Drake and the Batman with Tim Drake, but I didn't end up getting my pre-order in, so I am stuck with just Batman for Bane comparisons. For what I've been teasing this whole video, the Bane backbreaker pose right here. So it's not easy to get this pose. It does take a lot of finagling to get this done, but you can get him on one foot, putting his knee up and breaking Batman, and Batman can do the appropriate pose right here. It's a very much not an easy pose to get, but it is an achievable pose of getting Bane on one ankle / foot, being able to break Batman. So it's a hard pose to do, and you have to be really skilled in order to do this one. But it is very much achievable, and you can do it. And but be warned, if you do move the table, or I guess it is standing right now. If you do move your table, it will fall over. Mine isn't right now though. I'm not shaking it too badly though to not shake the camera and make that fall over. But if you get a really bad ankle, this is going to be impossible because it takes a lot of balancing and finagling with the joints and making sure they're strong to get this. But it is in a very achievable, or not very achievable. It's achievable, but it's not easy. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about the backbreaker pose. Alright, and then final verdict. Alright, final verdict on Bane, I would say, or Batman versus Bane, rather. So I would say the Batman is like a 9.5 out of 10. It is almost perfect. And then Bane, I would say, is a 8 out of 10. There's some things I wish were better on him, particularly his ab and the inclusion of cell shading. I'm not a big fan of, just on a personal level. I wish that the blue cell shading wasn't there myself. But it does work on Batman, so it's kind of a thing of if Bane didn't have it and then he did, it would be weird. So, it's just a thing of the 2-pack, the style of it. So, but that is how I feel. I wish the cell shading wasn't there, or it was less prominent. Maybe put like a lighter gray instead of a bright blue. I don't know. Whatever they could have decided on, I think would have worked. Just not this bright blue. I think it throws off the look a little bit of Bane. And then Batman, like I said, is a 9.5. And pretty much everything that I'd want comes in this set, and you do get the card or not the card, the card back, which isn't damaged for once. So that was a very fun thing for them to throw in. So yeah, this is a very good 2-pack. If you want it, it is expensive, being $70 for a $40 Mega figure and then a $23 McFarlane. Same thing I said with the Kilowog and Kyle Rayner 2-pack. If you watch that video, if you want it really bad, I think it's a really good one to get. But you know, you would have to decide that, and I'm not going to decide it for you because I'm not you. I don't have your money, slash I don't have access to your money. Be pretty cool if I did, but yeah. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, pretty cool 2-pack. I think if you want it, I think you should get it. If you can't afford it, that's fine. There will be other opportunities to get a cape to Batman, and I'm sure there's going to be another Bane somewhere. So you don't have to get this one, but if you do get it, I think you'll be very happy with it. So thanks for watching, and have a good night, day, or whenever you're watching, and peace out.